Ever wondered if the AI tools we're raving about are actually making us faster, or if they're just slowing us down? A groundbreaking study is shaking up the tech world, and the results are both surprising and humbling. Let's dive into what this research found, why it matters, and what it means for the future of AI in coding. Here's the setup. Researchers wanted to test how AI tools like GitHub Copilot or Cursor Pro perform in real-world software development. They recruited 16 experienced developers, seasoned open-source contributors, and assigned them 246 real tasks from GitHub, like debugging or adding features. But here's the twist. Each task was randomly split into two groups, half allowed AI tools, half didn't. Think of it as a controlled experiment, half the work with AI, half without. Now here's the shocker. Before the study, developers predicted AI would save them 24% of their time. After finishing, they thought it saved about 20%. But the real data, AI made them 19% slower. That's a massive gap between expectations and reality. Even experts in AI and economics had expected 38–39% time savings. So why the disconnect? The researchers dug deep. They tracked every keystroke, recorded screens, and interviewed developers. What they found was eye-opening. While AI tools are powerful, they didn't always fit the complex, real-world tasks these devs faced. For example, tasks requiring deep context or nuanced decisions, like refactoring legacy code, stumped AI. Developers spent extra time reviewing and correcting suggestions, like proofreading a friend's essay full of errors. It's not that AI is bad, but it's not smart in the right way. This isn't just about slower code. The study also reveals how tricky it is to measure AI's impact. Previous experiments used simple, synthetic tasks, like building a basic HTTP server, that favor AI. But real-world projects have strict quality standards, collaboration workflows, and unpredictable challenges. AI tools didn't adapt well to these factors, leading to the slowdown. It's like giving a chef a recipe but not letting them taste the dish. AI can generate code, but it can't always tell if it's good code. Here's the real takeaway. AI is still a work in progress. It's amazing at some tasks, like writing boilerplate code or suggesting solutions, but it's not a magic bullet. The study reminds us that real-world testing is crucial, because labs don't always reflect the messy, complex reality of software development. So what's next? The researchers note that future AI models might perform better, especially if they're fine-tuned for specific tasks. But for now, this study is a wake-up call. Even the smartest tools need the right context to shine. Thanks for watching. If you're a developer, have you noticed AI helping or hindering your work? Let us know in the comments. And if you want to dive deeper into the study, check the link below. Stay curious, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more deep dives into the science behind the tech you use every day. See you next time. Hey everyone. Ever tried using an AI coding tool and felt like it was more trouble than it's worth? You're not alone. A recent study dug into why developers aren't always thrilled with AI assistants like Cursor, and the results might surprise you. Let's break down what's really going on. So here's the thing. AI tools are supposed to make coding faster, right? But this research found that developers only trusted about 44% of the code suggestions they got. The rest, they had to rewrite, test, or scrap the AI's work entirely. One developer even spent an hour trying to fix a single AI-generated snippet before giving up. And when they did use AI, they spent 9% of their time cleaning up the output, time that could have been spent actually coding. But here's the twist. Even with all that hassle, 69% of developers kept using the tool after the study ended. Why? Because while AI slowed them down, it also made their work feel easier. One developer said it felt like less effort, while another admitted they didn't even think about some problems. So it's a trade-off, slower speed but smoother workflow. The study also found something weird. The AI didn't actually make code worse. Pull requests from AI-assisted developers were just as high quality as those without. So the slowdown wasn't because of sloppy work, it was something else. What could it be? Researchers ruled out a bunch of possibilities. Was it the tools themselves? No. Fatigue? Not really. Even when developers used AI properly, they didn't get a speed boost. But here's the kicker. Some developers didn't use the AI's most powerful features. For example, they didn't ask the AI to think longer by sampling more tokens, a bit like telling a human to brainstorm for extra time. If they had, maybe things would have been different. But that's just speculation. So what's the takeaway? AI isn't a magic speed boost, but it's not a productivity killer either. It's a tool that changes how developers work, slowing them down in some cases, but making the process feel smoother. And as AI evolves, we'll need more studies to figure out how to use these tools effectively. This research shows that tech isn't just about speed, it's about how we adapt. What do you think? Would you trade a bit of speed for a smoother coding experience? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more deep dives into AI's impact on work, hit that subscribe button. See you next time. Hey there. Ever wonder how AI is actually changing the way developers work? Let's break down a mind-blowing study that's trying to answer that by watching real coders in action. Spoiler, AI isn't a magic wand, but it's definitely reshaping how we build software. So here's the setup. Researchers wanted to know if AI tools like GitHub Copilot or Cursor actually make coding faster, or if they're just adding extra steps. To find out, they recruited real developers working on open-source projects and split them into two groups. One used AI tools, the other didn't. But here's the twist. They didn't just track what developers did, they tracked how they did it. Imagine watching a video of a coder's screen, but instead of just seeing code appear, you're logging every single action. When they write code, that's a label. When they pause to read documentation, another label. Even debugging or running tests gets its own category. It's like creating a detailed diary of their workflow, down to the second. But here's the catch. This data is massive. Think of it as analyzing a library of movies by hand, super time-consuming, but necessary to spot patterns. Volunteers had to meticulously label hours of video, noting not just coding tasks, but also AI interactions. Did the developer accept an AI suggestion? Reject it. Clean up the code afterward. Every decision mattered. And it wasn't just about code. Researchers tracked non-coding activities too, like checking emails or chatting with teammates. Because productivity isn't just about writing lines of code, it's about all the steps in the process. So what did they find? Early results are still being analyzed, but here's what's clear. AI isn't a shortcut. Some developers felt more confident using it, while others questioned if they'd rely on it long-term. And here's the kicker. This wasn't a lab experiment. It was real-world coding, with all the messy, unpredictable stuff that comes with it. The takeaway. AI is a tool, not a miracle. Its impact depends on how you use it. And by breaking down every click, every pause, and every AI interaction, this study is giving us a roadmap of how these tools fit into real workflows. Stay tuned. Next, we'll dive into the numbers behind AI's speed-up factor and what it really means for developers. Thanks for watching.